Okay, hello everyone, my name is Davor, and I am a Croatian influencer, as said before. I've been working in a digital agency for approximately 6 to 7 months now, and I've been working directly on influencer marketing because I've been doing influencer marketing for the last 4 years as an influencer, and I know what the right side of doing stuff is. So let's start. What influencer marketing is. Influencer marketing could refer to using a popular person, one following or fan base, to promote your products, services, or brands. And we've had influencers for a long time. If you know any big commercial with some familiar face in it, that was probably an influencer or some kind of an actor. So, however, in today's always-on world of Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and blog sites, anybody can virtually become an influencer. Why using influencer marketing? Influencers' opinions about products or services can often sway their followers into buying them. 71% of consumers are more likely to make a purchase based on social media referrals, like the ones made by influencers, and studies found that 92% of buyers trust an influencer more than they do an advertiser. Because influencers have such an impact on customers' buying habits, the FTC enforced transparency laws that we all know about, why everybody has the hashtag ad, so that the influencer could clearly tell their fans what is paid for versus the unpaid content, and that will help with the trust factor too. Okay, so how can your business start using influencer marketing? If you're a big brand, you will clearly just find someone and pay them to promote you because that influencer marketing strategy won't do much for you. But if you're a small business, you could really grow something really large out of that. So you should really find the influence around you. Even in Dubrovnik, there is a 50 big influencers with more than 200,000 followers and subscribers. They are followed by international people. So if you have a business and you want to target someone who is from Dubrovnik, find it right now. For more national brands, you can just be a New York ad agency and someone could help you find it. But what most people think of influencers, they typically think of Kardashians. But even someone here in the audience can have a great target and a big following that could help you promote your products with your brand or to the other brands. You can just go on YouTube, Instagram, and type the type of business you are in, type of audience you're trying to market, and you're bound to find an influencer nearby you, and you can reach out to it. What to consider when selecting an influencer? Think about your budget or what you're willing to give to an influencer in exchange for their subtle yet FTC-approved endorsement of your brand, product, or service. Because if you don't know with what kind of investments you're going in, you're not going to have a good ROI after. So you need to work with influencers who align with your brand or better still already use what you sell. If you can find an influencer that is already using your product, there is a 50% much higher percentage that you can just sell your products easily with just one post. Would your audience follow this influencer? Ask yourself to maximize the marketing benefits. You want to select influencers in your area that you know your target market will likely follow, because if you're a brand from Ireland, no one who is from, I don't know, Germany could get this easily to you. Someone who is in Ireland could get to your brand really easily. It is important to look at influencers' audience size and engagement rate, because not all the people who have millions and millions of followers have the great engagement rate that could help you sell your product or service. Sometimes you just need to look into how many likes and what the engagement rate is, because 10 to 15% is a great engagement rate to someone's followers. What message do you want to send? Find someone popular in your community with the right voice for your brand. And help yourself by working with an agency as C Digital, or use some software tool to make the most out of it. What is your goal? Prior to setting the pieces for your campaign, you need to know exactly what your objectives are and how a certain influencer can help you reach them. For each goal you set, you need to have milestones with hard numbers and details attached. Is your goal to boost engagement? By how much? Where do you want the engagement to take place? Do you want to expand your following? Social media followers? How many more? Do you want to promote your brand? To whom? What are the target demographics? And do you want to increase your revenue? What's your monthly or yearly goal? And what's your ideal order value? The answers you come up with should serve you as the groundwork for how to choose your potential influencer partnership. How to measure success? Influencer marketing is only of value if you can demonstrate that it produces acceptable return of investment. To calculate any return, you first need to define what your investment is. Measure conversions using trackable links, conversion pixels, providing promo codes, or create a hashtag campaign and tie it to your revenue. Well, how to measure ROI is the question that we all want to know, and we all want to know, is it going to be possible that influencers could really give you the real results? With impressions and engagement, if you're trying to determine your influencer marketing ROI, it's common to look at the total engagement. Someone who regularly engages with their followers will be much more influential for your brand than somebody who simply broadcasts, even the broadcaster has a huge following. As mentioned before by a guy from Microsoft, he said that a lot of broadcasters and streamers are now using and promoting something through their streams. And even though if a stream has, I don't know, streamer has 2 million followers, but only 10,000 people is watching that stream right now, that is not going to be a good percentage. If you have someone who is with 50,000 followers and have 10,000 people watching, that is going to be amazing. Increasing sales, you need to know that there may be a time lag between starting your influencer marketing campaign and new people buying your products. Social media usually helps build relationships rather than instantly leading to sales. The purchasing cycle can be quite lengthy for some types of products or services, and it will usually extend unit well after you perform the influencer marketing. Make sure you keep on measuring the results even after the campaign itself finishes, because in many results we've had, also with me as an influencer or with all other influencers we work with, you can see the results coming in even 2 to 3 months after, because people are just asking what this product was, where can I get it, and stuff like that. What is the conclusion? Working with influencers can do a lot for small businesses looking to expand their presence. Nowadays, the possibilities are practically limitless, and with the right amount of planning and data-backed research, businesses can make sure every dollar is wisely spent in creating partnerships. Remember to allow the time delays between your campaign and when you start to see conversions. If one campaign fails to inspire interest, try a different campaign with a different influencer. Always be willing to adapt. Social media is a fast-moving phenomenon, and you will need to be ready to move with it. Thank you.
We're going to ask questions at the end.
Okay, yeah, I will just say it.
Okay, we're going to ask questions at the end. So I'd like to invite Matt up.
Hi everyone, how you doing? So I got to tell you the truth, while I'm loading this up, I feel really happy to be here. I was a little bit nervous. I was nervous about the timing of this whole presentation because there was this amazingly small window between lunch and the time that I had to present. And I don't know how many of you were here when the guy from the BBC was up presenting? Yeah, okay. So I realized that I hadn't yet made love today and I needed to get that done before I got back up here. So good news is that I made it. Are we ready to roll? All right. Guys, good afternoon. My name is Matt Tennyson. I'm Vice President of Business Development and Strategic Partners for Boostability. Boostability is a leading provider of white-labeled internet marketing services for small business and partners. We service partners across all of North America, Australia, and Europe. In fact, some of our very best partners are in this room here today. Thank you for the years of wonderful business opportunities I've had with you guys. And thanks to Kimberly and the folks at Cinda for hosting this amazing conference in this most wonderful place. So I've been asked to speak today, obviously, about influencer marketing. And without the credibility of being an influencer myself, I wanted to demonstrate my expertise in this. And I think that that is best demonstrated by the fact that I was able to influence the folks at Cinda to let me fly all the way from the great state of Utah in the United States to Dubrovnik to address this congregation about a topic that I absolutely know nothing about. Well, truth be told, I do not consider myself an influencer or an expert in influencer marketing. However, as Kimberly stated, I am an expert, a bona fide expert in the small business marketing space with over 20 years of small business sales and marketing background, dating all the way back to the mid-90s when I went knocking businesses door to door selling print ads for a weekly magazine publication. So, like many of you that are in this room, I have undergone the transition from traditional media to digital media and know that story very well, and I'm happy to be here. So, with regard to the influencer aspect of things, we're all going to learn together. I know that I've learned a great deal, and hopefully I'll be able to teach a couple things here. The thing that I want to focus on is how do we take traditional, core, fundamental internet marketing products that are available to all small businesses across the world, and funnel them and utilize them in such a way that they can help our small business customers become influencers. What I want to talk about is the utilization and application of websites, SEO, and social media marketing in the traditional sense of how we utilize them for small businesses and helping small businesses become influencers. Before we jump into the details of the product, I want to talk about what an influencer is. Simply put, an influencer is a business or an individual that has an audience and enough credibility within that audience that when they speak, they actually have the ability to impact behavior and buying patterns within that audience. More simply stated, influencer marketing is that business or individual delivering their credible message to a target audience. So, classic example that was actually cited earlier are the Kardashians, and in particular Kylie Jenner. At 21 years old, Kylie Jenner has amassed a near $1 billion cosmetic empire. She is one of the richest women in the world and is soon to be the youngest billionaire in the world, surpassing Mark Zuckerberg, who I think did it at 23. So I think she's at 900 million now, or 900 million, so she only has a little ways to go to hit that billion mark. But, how did Kylie accomplish this? How did she get it done? Certainly, she had a number of advantages. She had fame, she had wealth, she had resources, she had notoriety, she had cameras and popularity surrounding her and her whole entire family. In the case of the Kardashians, I think that the old adage is true, no publicity is bad publicity, and certainly there was a lot of publicity that went around that family that helped her achieve the things that she achieved. So potentially, there are some of you in here who are thinking, well, good for Kylie, but how the heck does that apply to the typical small business, the typical plumber in Salt Lake City, Utah, Vienna, Austria, or even here in Dubrovnik? Well, it wasn't just the advantages, the wealth, the money, the people, and the fame that enabled Kylie to do this. She did have to employ some actual, real, live, traditional marketing tactics and marketing savvy to be able to attain the type of success that she was able to. And there are three elements that I believe that she utilized really well that I think transition straight across into any small business in any nation, city, across the world. And those are what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on gathering, educating, and delivering. The aspects of gathering an audience and then educating that audience, and then ultimately being able to deliver a quality product, good, or service to that audience. And what I really want to do then is take how we lay up SEO, websites, and social against those three pillars. Indeed, social media and SEO to gather and engage an audience, and then websites that help educate and then ultimately deliver products to that audience. Before we jump too much into the product details and the construct, though, we're going to take a step back. I was preparing this presentation. I was at home one night. I was a little bit frustrated, again, talking about a topic that I don't know anything about. And I look to my wife and I say, honey, I need something to spice the presentation up and make it a little bit better, make it a little bit more personal for me. And she looked at me and she said, you know what, Matt? You always look so cute when you wear your bike outfits. So why don't you put a picture of yourself in one of your cycling outfits and show everyone? They'll love it. And I thought, yes, that's absolutely the key. I'm going to talk about cycling. Because anytime I can talk about cycling, it's a good day. I'd much rather talk about cycling than I would internet marketing. But that's not the lay of the land today, is it? To be honest, I am an extremely passionate cyclist. And in fact, next to my wife and my kids and food And yes, digital marketing for the small business. Cycling is my main passion in life. And I ride road bikes, mountain bikes, gravel bikes. I compete in local races and even ride for a local cycling team called Plan 7 Cycling. And on that, I want to introduce you to a gentleman, Dave Harward, who is the head coach, CEO, and founder of Plan 7 Cycling and Endurance Coaching. Dave is a former pro cyclist who has turned small business owner who serves the cycling community through providing coaching services, nutritional programs, nutritional supplements, and a fantastic indoor winter training program that I like to take advantage of on those snowy days in Utah. But that's not all. Dave is a small business owner who has turned into an influencer. And Dave has been able to garner national attention as a coach. He's won awards locally and nationally. Dave has been recognized. In fact, the Tour of Utah, one of North America's largest cycling stage races, actually approached Dave this past summer about promoting the event in Utah because of his influence and notoriety in the space. Additionally, because of Dave's credibility in the cycling community, global cycling products such as Rotor bike components, First Endurance nutritional supplements, and Reynolds wheels have asked Dave to promote and carry their products locally in the state of Utah and to promote them across the United States. But really what I want to do is show the story of Dave Harward, pro cyclist and small business owner's transformation into becoming a very tiny little business in Salt Lake City, Utah, into becoming one of the biggest influencers in the state to his target audience. There we go. Let's start with the first element. Dave has a killer website. And it educates, it delivers product, it informs, it converts, it does everything that a website should do. And I know that it may seem a little bit mundane, and maybe even a little bit archaic to still be talking about websites, but I would submit this, that based on the number of websites that our partners continue to sell across North America, Europe, and Australia, I think talking about websites is every bit as relevant today as it was 3 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I'd bet anything that my friends in the audience from Mono and Duda and Yola would agree with this statement, yeah? Okay. So it all starts with that website, the ability to educate and convert, and the ability to really draw that audience in. Beyond that, Dave does SEO. Dave started his SEO campaign with us about 14 months ago, and it literally transformed the face of his business. Within that 14 months, Dave has earned the right to rank on page 1 for nearly 30 relevant keyword phrases locally and nationally. His business is growing exponentially. SEO has been able to transform this small little operation into a huge, robust operation that, quite frankly, Dave can't quite keep up with. He's needing to hire more coaches to take in all the clients and hiring more nutrition staff and other folks to help with all of this. But really what it's done is it's carried his name, his message, and his influence to an extremely broad audience, to an audience that not only will become his clients, but then to an audience who will influence others to become his clients. Now, earlier today, our esteemed colleague from Google stood up here and talked about Google My Business. And there was one particular slide that stuck out quite poignantly to me, and he showed some statistics. He showed a slide in where the statistics say that some 30-ish% of all searches go to local results. And then in addition to that, 27% of searches go to reviews. I'm here to submit that I believe that SEO is absolutely critical in both. In fact, our SEO campaigns and any good, solid SEO campaign actually handles Google My Business claiming and optimization for the client. Therefore, solving for that most critical piece of a local business's existence within the SEO campaign. Furthermore, how many more potential customers are there going to be to leave reviews when you have a robust SEO campaign that's reaching your entire target audience? Concurrently, along with Dave's SEO campaign, he started social media, and where we were able to help them through the distribution of really poignant content, solid advertising, through a network of a number of outlets and channels to really increase the engagement of the audience, expand that sphere of influence, and carry that message out to more people than we could touch just through the SEO and just through the website alone. But proof is in the statistics, and what we're finding today is that 79% of teens and young consumers trust influencers like Dave, a local business owner, more than they trust traditional celebrity endorsers. So yes, the small business owner has the power to become potentially more influential on buying habits in their local markets than LeBron James, than Michael Jordan, than any other big name, David Hasselhoff if you're in Germany, right, Joachim? Yes. Joachim loves David Hasselhoff as a poster, no. But in all seriousness, that is a powerful, powerful statistic. And then the other side, that 50% of all consumers, or 49% of all consumers, depend on influencers like Dave, the small business owner, for their recommendations for their shopping habits. I know I do. But to the point that influencer marketing has become the fastest growing method of online new customer acquisition, surpassing print and even other forms of digital. But the thing that I really want to focus on, that I want to drive home before we end, is that our small business clients can become these type of influencers. Through SEO and social that help them gather an audience, and through websites that help them educate and deliver products to that audience, they can be that influencer just like Dave. But even more importantly, and perhaps even the most poignant part of this whole presentation, is that all of us in this room, we're the ones who service the small business community. We need to become the influencers. Do we not all aggregate and gather small businesses? Are we not all responsible for educating those small businesses? And at the end of the day, don't all of us in here wish to deliver products, goods, and services to these small businesses that can help them to reach more clients and be more influential in their marketing spheres? Thank you.
So that was really interesting. I want to start out with a question. So, Javert, we have a lot of digital agencies in here doing a lot what Matt said with websites and SMBs, and with this influencer marketing trend growing, do you? And I'm going to ask this from you, Matt, too, as a digital agency. Do you think that this is something that everybody here could get into, and how hard is it to work with influencers? Okay, and I'm not talking about getting the small business to be the influencer, just getting into this development, because you have your own agency. How difficult is that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So it's really not that hard, because a lot of times influencers can be really easily reached out to. You just need to find the right influencers to get to them, and when you find them, everybody on their profile has that mail info or even phone number or agency number if someone is in front of them. And I think that working with influencers could really be an amazing thing for everyone here, because it can show really great results in small time, and it can show really great results in 3 months of that campaign. So it's going to be something like an echo, because when you say something, it's just going to be heard. But when influencers says something like that, it's going to be heard 3 times more, 3 times further. And someone is going to share it. Someone is going to say, oh my God, I love that product that you were wearing on that photo. Okay, I got it from that influencer that she had it on her photo. So I think that everyone in this audience, including small and big businesses, could be a part of that.
Matt, can you know everybody here, can you imagine adding this channel to the, not just helping our customers become influencers, but also adding a channel of working with influencers to our product palette?
Yeah, I think it would be great. Am I on? Yes? Okay. I think about, there we go. I think about it. I think that there are degrees of influencers. I don't know how plausible it is for your typical small business owner to be able to get a big-time celebrity endorsement, to come out and do that. But let's face it, though, small businesses only need to reach the customers in the markets that in the areas that they service. And within those areas, you don't have to be a worldwide celebrity. You only have to have influence over that group, right? So I think the crux to that and the key to that is identifying who influences your audience within the sphere that you do business in. I'll give an example. In the state of Utah, there's a gentleman named Gephardt, and he runs a review type of service where he goes in and does reviews on businesses. It's called Get Gephardt, and he'll give the business a kind of thumbs up or a thumbs down. He exposes shady businesses, but he really promotes good businesses. And every business within the Salt Lake DMA has the ability to reach out to this gentleman and others like him to help promote their business. And so I think it's just a matter of getting access to those who have the influence in your area. But I think it would be amazingly powerful.
I open up the audience for questions. No questions? Well, I think personally, I think this is a really interesting area, and I think that I liked your story about it seems like your guy who owns the cycle shop is now an influencer, okay? And he could probably help influence other businesses. And Davor, you have the experience. So we're just to stay on time. You're both here, okay? And Davor, you're joining us tonight and tomorrow also for the evening events. So I'd like to thank you very much, and you'll have a chance to talk to Davor and Matt this evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Kimberly.